Hey y'all, it's your girl Funmi-Layo. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Make sure to like this video because it helps me out a lot, and make sure to subscribe because we have awesome content on this channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about just dealing with this epidemic. I said epidemic. Oh my goodness.
But she ain't never seen the world though. She a wonder, but she ain't never seen the world though.
Dealing with the pandemic, being an empath, I saw this really great video by Amy Lee. I'll link it down below, and I had just been thinking about it just in general too, with everything going on, how other people who are very, like, I guess energy sensitive, I guess you could say, you could describe it as. I'll look up the exact definition of what an empath is, but just you very things that are going on in the world, like you just feel like, oh my goodness, my heart just, and even with people's emotions too, like you kind of take things on and everything. And it just really resonated with me, her video, and just thinking about how are other people dealing with this. Me personally, what I found for myself, and not just speaking about this pandemic specifically, not only this but also applies to this, is I just try to avoid the news. And as much as I try to avoid the news, obviously there's certain key things that you do need to pay attention to, so it makes it harder. But it can just be so sad. It can honestly be very, very depressing, really. Just constantly hearing of all this bad news and just all this negative stuff. But you do have to be aware of what's going on in the world, because it does affect you and how you can also live your life. But especially on social media, like, you can't completely avoid it, because all of the bad stuff that are going on, it is also on social media as well, just to raise awareness. Because at the same time, how dare we feel so comfortable that we don't feel like we have to deal with the problems of others in a way, because we are all interconnected, as this has shown. It's kind of a luxury to be able to ignore bad things going on with other people, which is like a whole thing in itself. But then it's like, where do you draw that line between being able to protect yourself and your emotions and your well-being, but also being a good keeper of being, a good citizen, and just of the world, and being aware of what's going on and trying to help out the best way you can. So it's just about, like, trying to find that balance. So I get like informed about stuff through social media, and occasionally I'll go on news websites, but I try to avoid it, just because, like I said, it just really just gets me down and just feeling very sad. And I really feel for everybody that's going through hard times during this period. And I also know that a lot of people, when they get like locked up in the house and they can't go out like how they would normally, or get that normal social interaction, they can get depressed. So I'm feeling for those people as well. So it can definitely be hard. It can definitely be hard during this time. And I really just, it's so wild. I was even listening to a podcast, The Friend Zone. They were talking about it too, and what are the chances that everybody would be going through this at the same time, like all over the world? Usually when things happen, it only affects one group, you know what I mean? It only affects one country, one area, one state. But this is something that the whole world is going through right now. And obviously some people have better access to resources for healthcare than others. So that definitely affects things. But just to know that we're all dealing with the same thing as others, we can't turn a blind eye to what somebody's going through, because how somebody's treatment over there is going can affect us, because everything is connected. And I feel like, going with like, the whole empath thing, like everybody now has to feel for everybody else, because somebody else not doing well, like your neighbor not doing well, could affect you, because you may come in contact with them. We're all interconnected, and I feel like this is showing it now more than ever. And she was also saying that in her video too, about everybody just being interconnected and everything like that. And it's wild that this is happening. Who would have thought? Who would have really thought? But just in general, if you are an empath, or if you are like somebody within the psychology field, or if you just know something about it, how do you guys generally deal with keeping your emotional thermostat like set on a certain amount, so that no matter what's going on, how do you protect your emotions and protect yourself during when there's a lot of energy going around, and negative at that, and a lot of bad stuff happening? What are some practices that you use? I personally have been trying for a while to get into meditation, but I just keep, honestly, especially this time, I've had more than enough time to get into it, but I just keep distracting myself. The closest I've gotten is just to like, lie down and listening to binaural beats, which I highly recommend. You know what I mean? I highly recommend binaural beats because it's a great way to focus or relax, or just in general. But I want to be able to actively do it, not when I'm just trying to sleep, or not when I'm just trying to study, like listening to binaural beats, or but just in general, maybe wake up in the morning and just stay in front of the sun and and breathe in and breathe out. And I keep on hearing about the benefits of it over and over. I know that some people do that, but what are some other methods? I know another thing that I have been doing just in general in life is like just acknowledging emotions that come in, and then when I acknowledge it, I ask myself why. I acknowledge this is how I feel. I ask myself, why are you feeling this way? I ask myself, can I change it? And if I can't, it is what it is. And if I can, think of active steps to take, just in efforts to like let things go and not hold things in, and just let things pass through me, and be able to hold on to like my energy, and not just other random, maybe bad events or annoyances or things like that are happening around me, or that are irritating me, or making me mad, or making me sad, you know what I mean? So that I don't, and in that way, I feel like you cannot give people power over your emotions, and you can also not give situations power over your emotions, and you can have a steady base. And just also being connected to your source, like God would be mine. I feel like, guys, I say it all the time, just I feel like the closer I'll be able to, I need to get closer to like God in terms of spiritual practices, in reading the Bible and stuff every day, and actually setting aside a separate time to pray. And you know what, I'm gonna do it today, because this is the second time on video I said, oh, I need to do this, and I haven't done it, so I'm gonna do this today. But yeah, just having that separate focused time, and not doing too many things at once. And then also, I don't know if you guys experience this too, just people in general, where it's like too much stimulus, too much things coming in, so it makes you feel frazzled and off balance, and it's just like, what the heck, I was I was out on my bed, it was 2 days ago, and I had my phone in one hand. I was scrolling through something, listening to something also on the phone. Meanwhile, I had a Netflix show playing, but in another tab, I didn't have a Netflix show playing. I had a YouTube video playing that was mostly just about talking. They weren't really showing any visuals. And then I had another tab open on the computer with the what I eat in a day. So I had the visuals. So I was listening to the YouTube video. I had the visuals also from another YouTube video in the tab that was open. That was the what I eat in a day, which I've been watching so many of those. And then on my phone, I was listening or watching something, or I don't know whether I was just listening to one of the lives, or it's just too much stimulus coming on, and I just need to calm down. It's definitely something that I have noticed in this quarantine time, and just in general when I'm spending time at home. I just constantly am feeding myself with so much information, and sometimes you just need to really unplug. I really need to unplug. But yeah, because it's a lack of balance in that area. It's constantly being exposed to stimulus from the computer, my phone, you know what I mean? Just listening to stuff, or watching something, or just I just need to unplug. So maybe that's something I need to do. Maybe I need to do like a social media fast. And I wouldn't even say social media per se. It's not even just social media. I would say maybe like just a whole internet, unplug from the internet, maybe for a day. It might be a lot. Maybe maybe I just have to limit the time I spend on the internet. It's just too much, because I'm listening to so many podcasts, so many this, and it's great information, but too much of a good thing as well, So there's that, y'all. How are you guys doing? I hope this is just kind of like a chatty video. I hope that I haven't missed you, like I haven't lost you in terms of what I'm talking about, but it's just how I've been feeling as of late, But I will holla at you guys. Thank y'all for talking to me. Let me know what you are doing in terms of coping through everything going on, because though I do try to stay busy and everything like that, as a way to like keep my mind off things, it's really going down. But again, completely choose to believe that it's only up from here, that positivity, I don't know, just keeping a positive mindset and just praying for the best. And so I will see you guys next time, and comment down below your thoughts or your feedback. All right, bye.